No, Leslie said she
but now put the mic up.
The mic is right here.
Yeah, that's
is
good.
It one of those? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Leslie went on Saturday Night Live and did a joke about I'd be the best slave ever and everything.
No, and I know.
And motherfuckers got mad and was like, and she's saying that they're calling her names and stuff. What the fuck did you think gonna happen? Like, so when I said something about this white lady in the front, I said, you know what? I mean, I'm stunned niggas ain't raping you for reparations. And people I understand they could get upset about that, but right now, the way white people acting, you have not a foot
But you was at the J spot though, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong.
So that's what you really instilled the fear up in her because the J spot is in the black area.
I would say Shang will probably do it everywhere.
I
think he'll do it everywhere too, but
it wasn't a joke. It was just she said some wild shit to me.
What was the wild shit she said to you?
She's trying to say like, I belong here and I don't because I'm light skinned. I'm like, bitch, you white. Don't get it twisted.
She was saying she belonged at the club.
I think it wasn't. I think it all revolved around the rape. Everything else. I mean,
I think so too.
I went as harsh as I could. No, trust me, I know that.
Yeah.
But you know what? I know that, and then I didn't come off stage like if somebody got mad at me, I wasn't like, well, I'm sorry. I said the shit.
Well, I mean, Shang, as your friend,
and I got hands. I got hands too.
Shang, as your friend, I'm gonna have to say you are the most angriest light skinned
person. No, I am not angry. No,
I've seen you.
Whoever
You're
the
very
camera,
cheery.
Can you see me on the camera? I am not angry. I'm passionate.
Yeah.
And fuck that.
You know what?
Where am I pointing? Wakanda forever, nigga.
Okay, you know what? I will take that back.
Can somebody film Roxy's face?
Don't freeze.
Video
don't
that?
freeze.
I will hold on.
Don't freeze. I never freeze. I never freeze.
I will take that back. You are definitely passionate.
And
your passion looks like you're pissed off.
It looks like I'm angry.
But you are very passionate about it.
I am not
One thing
angry.
you had mentioned when you first sat down too, you was like, you're touring, you got some good things going on, all without management. Okay.
Yeah, no,
to be working without management this long and still be like pretty relevant, like that's
especially with a lot of funny young comics. There's a lot
a
of
big achievement.
Yes, because that's what we need to let get a rise out of us is all the good stuff we got going on.
There's a comic named Jack Knight.
My big butt sister just walked in.
Jack Knight is he's the truth, man. And there's a lot of young comics I think are the truth. And I'm not. And again, I don't think even when I said about Leslie, I'm not against Leslie as a stand-up. I'm not against.
That
Leslie.
that was a joke. That was a sketch stemming from one of her bits, though.
Right, and I get it. And I'm saying, but you're gonna get backlash. I get backlash all the time. I had the head of the NRA of California.
But what do you think she do with the backlash?
She got upset and was like saying.
But you're gonna get upset. You're a human being.
No, I understand you being a human being, but were you a human being when you did the slave?
You were a human being then, and you're still a human being when you're getting backlash.
I mean, most times, everybody got a choice on how they feel. Like you say, she should expect it.
Just be like, okay.
Even in the expectation of something, when it actually hits, it can still change your emotion.
It can make you be upset. But Leslie, what I'm saying is, and then somebody said, "Oh, you're just jealous." Her. If you say the color is blue, doesn't mean you're jealous of blue. You're stating a fact, and that's the problem with right now the country, even with black folks. It's fact free. It's like, no, motherfucker, you didn't do as well as this other comic. If I say just hilarious, no, you're not a headliner. It doesn't mean I don't want her not to get a check.
Right.
She's getting a check. I'm saying, no, you're not a headliner. You were put in that position because you went viral or whatever the fuck on social media.
It does sound like you are
angry.
It does sound like there are some.
I'm not angry.
Feelings associated.
My feelings.
No.
I'm hurt.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what it sounds like.
I am hurt.
No, but that's exactly what it sounds like, Shay.
No,
and I'm glad you could be. No, but I'm glad you said that.
Nobody. You know why I'm
not? No, it doesn't sound like you're jealous. It sounds like, okay, but
I'm the last motherfucker.
Well, that's not the right word.
I'm so in my own lane. I do not.
Okay, but
I think Shane need a yoga class or something.
I need some aromatherapy. I need aromatherapy. And I need to listen to some jazz.
I need to hold on. I'm gonna give Shane 30 seconds to breathe while I introduce my sister, Courtney Black.
What up, y'all?
A hustling chick with no no just hilarious following and
followers.
still touring the country.
Yeah, but I
hustling
ain't
chick.
getting that just hilarious chick.
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We
Don't
live in
matter.
our dreams,
That's
right.
and we got the exposure that we need. And why
Yeah.
are we letting money
You are
or whatever
so
somebody
nice.
else is getting it? No, because you know what? We have to
You are
keep
so
ourselves
nice.
from being in that feeling of rejected. Why me state
Oh, yeah,
when
you do.
when your time is coming or whatever you want is
Oh, I
coming.
believe that.
When your time
wholeheartedly.
come, your time is gonna come, and like
What's
nobody
for me
can.
is for me.
Nobody
so
can
nobody
intervene on
take
that. Nobody
But
can
do
intervene.
you think that do you think that if a person states that if a person's tall, do you think that they're mad at them or jealous they're tall?
Right.
Or are they just
You're
going?
just saying you can still say it's not cool or it's not fair that people that been grinding on stages.
right,
and
but
then
I don't feel.
somebody-
I don't even feel like
That's
that.
a lot of
I
people
mean,
feel.
I know why I'm
but
in-
that's
I know
a
why
lot
I'm
of
in
comics
this.
feel like
Life
you
ain't
say.
fair. If you
No,
wait for
that-
fair
Life ain't
life,
fair. No, I never.
You
It
don't
is.
kill yourself.
It's a natural thing that we
Human.
feel like that.
Right.
But as spiritual beings, and this is why I always bring it back to the spiritual,
Really?
as spiritual beings, we know the plan is divine.
That's right.
So it's like just hilarious.
Wow.
Okay, but the thing is, okay.
Won't he do it?
What he will do it.
Won't he do it?
He will
But,
do
okay,
it.
so I see
But
what
wait a
you're
minute.
saying.
But wait a
I see
minute.
what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah, because you
so,
never know where her shit is going. Anyway, I mean,
we never know.
Everybody got their
But
own.
also too, you don't need a big following when the Lord calls you. This girl
Right.
is co-hosting with Cheryl Underwood. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
That like who knows
Who knew?
if she's going to co-host with Cheryl Under, like she was starting out with J. Anthony Brown, then that station went down, and then Jay referred her to Cheryl. Now she's doing that thing with Cheryl. Then she was producing something when we was on the CBS lot with the radio theater. Then all of that without the following. So that's what I'm talking about. You can work, you can skin that cat with your followers,
Right.
and then you can skin that cat over here and just
with
work
you.
them
I don't
here.
think Peter would want you to
And,
skin the
Yeah,
cat.
that's
And-
back to the cat
That,
thing.
you can't be skinning cats.
You can't
in
be
this
skinning
country.
cat. That's bad.
well,
But yeah, what's for you is for you, and you can't really.
Yeah.
But see, I think with like veteran comics, if when we see younger comics,
Damn.
I don't think it's hate. I think it's more like, I wish that was me. I mean, just to be quite frank, in some
You
instances,
think that?
in some
Well,
not all
also-
instances,
no,
but in
well,
some,
I don't
also-
want it before I'm
I-
ready.
yeah, I don't think
well,
that
for the
at all.
sake of
I wanna
comedy,
be
I'd be
that
like,
person.
get this non-funny bitch off stage because it's just so
Yeah.
annoying
That's the
to like
annoying part.
see
Yeah, I
you
don't-
do that.
yeah, I
But the
don't-
thing is, I understand the place for them. You know, I just think that the booker needs to realize that it's about the people. When people come to your
Right.
club, they don't want to
can't-
see nobody struggling and
Trying.
Now
even
they
though
pay
you
that
might be
$20.
stealing somebody's
20,
job,
25,
you're not
$50,
delivering
yeah.
it. It's
Even
not
over
real
20.
comedy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
So you want to definitely have the
talent to
bang
back
for
up.
your buck.
Yeah,
the bang for your buck.
Yeah,
And you know,
yeah, I
they
agree.
got to think about the people or
The
whatever.
people.
Okay, let me Shang,
Let me ask you something.
because I know he ready to discuss this shit.
No, I'm
let's
saying-
hear from Shane.
Okay, no, hold on.
get
Hold
deep on y'all.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. See, that's what the fuck is wrong with the world. I'm saying right now, if you mention something about another comic and you call their name out, and you're just saying something factual, like I'm chubby.
yeah.
I can't be like, motherfucker, who you calling chubby? I'm like,
You
nigga,
can't
I
be
am
people-
chubby. Like, if we was in a plane crash, y'all would have to eat me first.
You got all that good meat on you.
That's what I'm saying. But I got muscle under that. But it's
I don't eat light skin.
I knew that.
Once you put some fire on it, everybody
put
get
fire on it, everybody
done.
Put a little Lowry's.
Put some Lowry's on
Some
it.
barbecue sauce.
I'm gonna be like, this meat right here already has Lowry's on it.
Okay, but I'm saying is
Seasonings.
the internet comics, I'm not mad at them. As a veteran comic, I'm not mad at them. I have been for years in my own lane.
He sure has on Twitter and all that shit.
I have been able to draw
Ever since I known
for
you.
years.
Ever since I
So
known
I'm
you
not-
from
But I think-
MySpace.
I think someone made a good point too. A comedian a while ago saying that they really shouldn't call themselves comedian. I think we would feel better if they were called entertainers or something like that. Because when you take a title that somebody else has worked hard
Sketch
for,
artist.
sketch artist. I mean, because they just make these little videos. So it's like you're an entertainer, but
What about comedic
Are you an
actor?
ass motherfucker?
yeah, or an actor.
Comedic actor.
That is more an actor because they're on video than a comedian. So.
Well, comedian is one of them titles that we are pretty like possessive over.
it's our own little club.
It's our own
It's like,
club, but they're
I
in
didn't
the
see you get a
club.
ticket.
They're in the club because every day they got people laughing happen, and they might not be in the club, but you know, people are looking and forwarding and this and that. You know, I was just
we can't undermine that, but that is
Yeah.
just
and that's hard work to like do that every but like I'm talking about to do that editing, like, do that shit
every day.
every day.
Do it. Yeah,
I
Because
can't
trust me, like
It's work.
you
It is
can't
work. It
you
is
can't
work.
have a 9 to 5 and be a social
no.
media star.
Oh no,
no,
you
no,
gotta
no.
live with your
But they
mama
get-
straight
they
up
making
for
a
the
lot of
first 7
money. They
years.
making a lot of money.
They don't need a
They're
9
making
to
a lot
5.
of money. You know
I'm just
what,
saying,
though?
like people, it like they'll know, like we didn't shot like sketches be taking all
Forever, all day for a little thing. You're right.
Yeah, so I'm saying
They
like,
taking all day when they of substance and they
Shang, are you willing to put in that sketch all day time?
No, I mean,
But them 1 minute joints.
With the 1 minute, they got all day 1 minute.
And it was a game you had to get in, you know,
Early.
and help early. If you got in
Also,
early,
too,
now everybody's doing
Yeah,
it.
and it's like,
Ryan
ugh.
Davis, Ryan Davis did really well on Facebook by just looking into the camera and talking. There's a comic, Godfrey, who's a very strong
Love
stand-up,
Godfrey.
and he's just looking into the camera and giving them full blast Godfrey, and it's working. But when he goes to do stand-up and people come to see him, he can
Deliver.
He can deliver that hour.
Out
even
New
when-
York Godfrey?
I'm not Leslie.
New York guy?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
He cold.
Leslie, when I said it about Leslie, Leslie's got more opportunities than I could ever dream of. I'm not talking about Saturday Night Live, but I think with black comics, the problem I had with some black comics, my problem is not, or my anger. You say my anger?
Well,
If you act coonish, don't get mad if somebody say you kind of acting coonish.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is, if you see the comics that good up there,
what's coonish?
what's coonish? What comics act coonish? See that's it could be perception.
No, not what comics. What is coonish?
What is coonish? When I'm talking to you off stage, and I can see you when your persona is higher, and you go on stage and go, "How's everybody doing? What's the world going on? White people did what?" Like when I see that, I go, "You're cooning it up."
I'm so broke.
I'm so broke, and I know you're not. And if I know you, and
Okay.
I see you on stage, and I see you cater. Like for instance, I said something about Gerard Carmichael, and so everybody got mad at me, and they said I was the most hated comic for a day.
Ooh.
Because what I said about Gerard Carmichael is the reason white people embrace him, because 15 minutes of his set on HBO was dissing black people without logic of while you're dissing black people. That's like me coming up going, "Niggas ain't shit." But I don't have any joke after that other than niggas and shit. And when I look at the audience and it's white people clapping and laughing,
Right.
they like us to degrade ourselves. They like us to talk shit about ourselves. That's why they'll pick, it's the old thing where they'll pick the person on the corner that's in a suit and articulate. No. Get the one that is
Yeah.
flaming
For the
gay.
news.
For the news.
So you saying
Okay,
you saying,
you're right.
you saying
And-
degrading is the blueprint? Let me write
No.
that down.
Hilarious.
Degrading.
You gonna
No, but Gerard,
Come up with two
industry
jokes
loving
every
Gerard,
day.
But industry love Gerard, and people say, "I."
But what about- but
they
what
love him,
about-
But guess what? Silence is. You're not a comic. If you're on an HBO special and you get 7 minutes of silence on an HBO special, and I know he got 7 minutes because I looked at the little timeline thing because me and my lady were watching it, and you could see the little thing at the bottom, and I'm like, has it been 7 minutes? That nigga ain't got to laugh.
Okay, but wait a minute.
Then
Okay,
I
because
could've
don't
engaged you
forget.
by that.
See,
You need to get
sometimes we
laughs. I'm old school.
okay. So and
Laughter matters.
I'm just playing heaven's advocate on this one. Okay.
You are so spiritual.
Heavens.
No,
bless you.
only because that's
Won't he do it?
well, I love to praise him.
I don't know that
yeah,
one.
I
got the
love to
gospel face
praise
too, y'all.
him.
Y'all gonna hate me. I hate gospel.
Praise
I hate
him.
gospel.
a strong word.
It just sounds like
No.
begging.
What?
Just like,
I like contemporary gospel, but a lot of old gospel sound like you just
like white
begging.
Christian
I know-
music?
Yeah, I know God's probably up there going, "I heard you."
What about the whinings?
God's like, "I heard you."
What about the whinings?
What I'm saying is there's contemporary gospel.
First of all,
and then there's gospel where
Hammond.
it's like,
Okay,
"Lord Jesus,
okay.
help me." Stop. God is
Shane,
like,
in the water.
let me just tell
At the
you.
time, they needed that, Shane, to get through the
I get it,
slavery
but it's
part.
just
And
the
you
word
need
of
it now,
life.
but see, the thing about it too is, Shane. First of all, I'm gonna tell you about the gospel music,
was
and then I'm gonna go
begging.
back to the
They was
heaven's
begging.
advocate. Because what was we
God,
talking about
please don't
before?
get me hit.
What were we talking about
You was about
before?
to say something.
What were we talking about before? What point did you
Gerard.
make before? Gerard Carmichael. Okay, let me
No,
say
I-
that first.
congratulations
Wait a
to
minute.
him.
Wait a minute. Let me say about the degrading first. White people like to see white people degrading themselves too. So the black people, so the Spanish people, that's just a form of comedy that you have to decide not to do for yourself. People call themselves fat, people call themselves ugly, people degrade themselves all the time. It's not you degrading yourself for this genre of people get up there for the same genre and degrade themselves. It's a form of comedy. But I feel like white people like Gerard Carmichael more because he has a style of comedy that is very similar to how white comics deliver, very deadpan, and that works well in the whiter rooms. All that, like, you know, we have a very alive comedy, and I think you transfer over very well, Shang. You don't.
I do white clubs all the time.
I know.
All the time.
I know.
You know why? Because edgy.
You know, because being a part white person, you know, you just that's what comes from your anger is that
I'm part
that
white.
direct contact to
I
the
did not know I was
colonizer.
part
She
white.
done made you mulatto.
I know. I didn't even know. So I got
Let me
to
tell
tell
y'all
my moms
something.
and dads.
Let me tell y'all something.
And you got black
all
parents.
these.
Yeah.
Grandparents.
If I took a picture of Shane,
Look, they trying to go all the way back when Shane
Y'all-
was somewhere. They're like,
can y'all
what about the
Google-
grandparents?
wait,
Your
can y'all? No. It's
about
with Shang. It's his grandparents. I'm gonna just tell you, it's very close. Okay, if I took a picture of Shang's hands, you would think he was Puerto Rican. You would not be like, oh, that's a black guy right there. You would be like, he's Puerto Rican. That's just so my audience can know. But to look it up for yourself, at Comedian Shang.
You could say, if I took a picture of him, you
If
could
you
say,
would take a
oh, he's
picture of,
African.
if you take a picture of Chico's
He's
hands,
not.
guys, if you take a picture of Chico's hands, you're not going to see him in the picture.
Butter.
No, you're not
say,
even
"Don't
going to
touch
see
me."
him. No, you're not even going to see him. They're not going to show up. They're that dark.
Okay. And again, let me
This is what Shang is talking about. This is what Shang is talking about.
No,
No.
but like what I'm saying is, I don't want Gerard Carmichael not to make money. I want anybody that's black to make money.
But
I
you
want
were
anybody-
saying he's coonish. And
No,
then
I
you
didn't
said-
say he was coonish. I said that was two different situations.
Yeah.
I said he gets silence. Even on his promo for HBO, he said, "You didn't laugh, but I made you think." Well, motherfucker, it's not a think special.
But what about the Bill Maher's and the George
Bill Maher gets
Carlins?
laughs.
And
George Carlin
but I'm
got
talking
laughs.
about
George Carlin
they
got
do.
gut laughs.
So he's just saying that they think, but they also got laughs.
Yeah.
It's a balancing act.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of being able to do political, socio-political material, where you could say some shit that makes a point, and you still killing them.
Right.
I
Uh-huh.
have done that
I love
many
George
times.
Carlin for that.
Paul Mooney has done that many
Yes.
times. Dick Gregory has done that many times. It is possible to say some political shit that's super funny,
Right.
and at the same time, that
Make
shit was on
somebody
point.
think.
Chris Rock did it
Yeah.
beautifully
Does
on
it.
Bigger and Blacker.
Oh, yeah.
and
That
on
was
a
the
couple
shit.
shows. So to say that is like
And
that's,
again, George Carlin.
George
yes.
Carlin. But what I'm saying
Master.
is, I'm not like people think that I don't like him, or if I saw him, I'd fight him in the street like, "Hey, nigga," and ha. No, I'm like, good for you. But if you get silence on a special, like when my special come out, and people go, "Nigga, that was silence," then I go, "Well, you got me."
When is your special coming out? I saw the it came out last year, right?
No,
When is it?
May 15th.
Okay, that's awesome.
release
I'm glad I
date.
asked about it. We
Man,
fucking been
congrats.
talking about
It's been a year.
all these other people.
I got in the contract. Yeah, I got in the contract that messed up, so I had to go 9 months with lawyers and shit. Got out the contract and own it because I wanted to own it. That's why I was one of the producers.
Okay.
You know, so I'm one of the producers
Congratulations
myself.
on that.
Congrats on that.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and so
We this is what we need to be talking about.
Shang is
Okay.
a business on
He is a
comedy.
yeah, I'm a
businessman.
businessman.
Yeah, he knows
so,
all that.
And the thing is a lot of good comics. And there's a lot of great young comics. I like a lot of young comics. I
Right.
look at them and go, they're doing their thing. But even as a young comic, I knew who were the beast. I knew who the motherfuckers that can come in and rip a room. And that's the problem I see with a lot of young comics that don't acknowledge you are not at earthquake status.
But what do you want them to do? What do you want them walking up as soon as they see you?
No.
They be like, Shang,
Not me.
I know I have 20
I'm not
million
like that at
followers,
all. No.
but I ain't shit.
No, not me.
What do you want them to
Not-
do?
no, I
How
don't-
do you?
what do I
how-
want?
You're just saying them personally,
You
how
just-
they think
every
of
time they
themselves.
see
Okay,
you,
but
just-
no, what I'm saying, she go on the video. If she go on the video, if like for instance, if Just Hilarious goes on a video and does a 5-minute video ranting how whack Corey Holcomb is and your career ain't shit and this and that. If you go on talking shit about Steve Brown out of the South, if you talk about him, if you talk about comic after comic where you're talking shit. But I say the shit you're saying does not apply. That's like me saying,
Right.
"Hey, look at you, yeah, because your lips and like your
Right.
lips are so thin." And I go, "No, they're not. It's that fake narrative. It's that false
I know, but
equivalency."
the thing is, I don't even follow her, so I don't even know what you know.
No,
What I'm
I
saying?
I forgot that
went
you
in-
did
she
a
went-
Steve
she
Brown
did-
video. I saw it. I meant to, Google
She
it
went
and look
in on
at
it.
it, but I didn't see it. I heard people talking about
She
it.
went in on it, and I'm not. Again,
I do
get
know
it.
the
I understand
Corey.
beef. People think I'm trying to start controversy to get my
Right.
numbers up. I'm not
Your
like that.
numbers are big.
I'm numbers are already fine. And
Like that
I,
dick.
I
No,
want,
I'm sorry.
I want a core audience that's gonna ride with me a year later when the shit
I'm going to
fades.
discuss that with you later.
When the shit fades, because it will
Dale,
fades. Everything
Dale.
ebbs and flows. Would you agree? Everything ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
And the problem is with that type of success, it's like this, then it's like that.
Yeah.
Whereas if you keep your talent and you keep your skills up, you keep going.
You can coast right on through.
May 15th, the special comes out. Where is
And
it going to
it's
be
called
coming out at?
Shangri. So
I know. I'm not angry. I'm passionate.
I didn't come
I
up
just
with
said
that.
it was the
I'm gonna
angry.
tell you, it's
He
another
gets labeled
comment.
Listen,
angry.
Another comment
He is
named Mark
angry.
Howard. Mark Howard came up with it.
Mark Howard.
Mark
Who's Mark
Howard.
Howard? I know
Shout out to
him.
Mark
And
Howard.
Mark Howard. I didn't come up with it at all. I came off stage and he said,
Acting like you acting
he
like
said,
this
"You-
whole time you didn't know.
Like,
you know
like,
you talking about.
like him and
I don't know
Uncle
why
Rusty
people call
hanging
me.
out.
Right.
People call me angry, and then you talking about it's shangry.
No,
Shame.
but that you know why?
Nigga.
That's
Like, I'm just
business.
joking.
No, that's business. That's the business side of it because people will remember that.
Yeah.
If I was
It's a
just
great title.
Bill, if I was Bill Dale,
I think first of all,
Bill
What
Dale's new
what
special.
about Shang the F up? If you
That's
have
my
another,
next one.
just
I
throwing
like
it
that.
out there
Next,
for you.
that's my next special. Cause you know,
we need more xylophone. Guys, we're gonna need more xylophone.
yeah, but that's my next
Stupid.
one. We did it in, and we did 2 shows, 2,500 people.
Okay, we're gonna have to put that through.
So
It looks good.
It looks
Shot
real
very
good.
well, right?
It looks
Yeah.
great.
New York at the 60th and Broadway. Yeah. So
At 60th and Broadway?
yeah,
in New York?
at John Jay College.
Oh, at John Jay. Oh, that was awesome. That's what Comedy Central shoots theirs.
Yeah, we went in and
At-
we did our thing. But the thing is, the reason I wanted to own it was, and that wasn't my idea either. The name wasn't my idea. Mark Howard's like, man, you'd be so shangry. I'm like, yo. He said, I said, that's funny, man. He said, yo, man, you're really shangry.
The name of your
And then
special?
also the doing it myself was actually Russell Peters. He saw me and I was waiting for I was showcasing for a special, and he said, "Why are you waiting on somebody to give you one? You have
Okay.
enough people following you where you can do it yourself and hire the people yourself." So I went out and I got some people with money together that believed in me, and I got money together to do it. And
big.
you know, I took to me and I said, because it's better when you license a special to someone,
Yeah.
because you own it
Forever.
even after that. Whereas in
Yeah.
Netflix, the reason Monique was asking for so much money was one of the reasons is once you do a Netflix special for the next 2 years, you can't do none of that shit. Not only you can't do the material, you are locked in. But I think the way she went about it by saying I'm the most decorated comic in the history of the world turned people off. I probably turned some people off to say, this motherfucker, I
You
love
definitely
I
turned
love-
Gerard Carmichael
No,
off.
I didn't.
Definitely turned Gerard just texted
He's
me and was like,
brilliant.
he turned me off.
He has some brilliant shit. He absolutely has some brilliant shit. I like that. He definitely has some brilliant shit, and I did not. Hopefully, he didn't text you. But even if he did, I'm never gonna be in their wheelhouse. I'm never gonna be in their lane.
Right.
That's
Right.
like, okay, people gonna call you nigga anyway, so fuck it.
Hello.
People gonna treat you a certain way, so fuck it. You ain't gonna treat me nice, good, bad, or indifferent. So I'm gonna
You know
be
what?
me. I'm gonna
That
be
made me think about the situation when I was in Milwaukee with this lady promoter. Anyway, go ahead. What you about
No,
saying?
no, so you can't just touch on that. Hold on.
Well, I'll respond. We need more xylophone, please. I'll respond on Chico's behalf. Chico tells a story. Let me tell y'all something. Chico was sexually harassed
By a lady
As
promoter
a-
in Milwaukee.
as a child comic.
She said I had a hotel room, but then after the show, she was like, "Oh, I don't know what happened, but you probably got to stay with me." This is a long.
She made Chico
Dark story
stick
about-
it in,
That's
and
what
he's
happened in
been
the race.
crying about it on every show. She
You know
molested him as a child comic last week.
But at least did you get more bookings though?
You got some stage time.
Well, you know, I end up doing 2 more shows. She came out of nowhere. I don't know how they.
I don't know how the bookings had, but apparently I put the dick down perfectly.
Well, I had breakfast. And,
Like,
you know.
okay, but see,
The bacon was.
But
gone.
it's a darker story than anyway. But go ahead.
Stop
Okay.
it. Can I get to Courtney? Can I get to Courtney? Because
Courtney's
because
back.
you know, with all this shanger up in here, I'm not going to be able to concentrate. With all this shanger up in here,
Shanger.
I need to talk to
Shanger.
my girl. Okay,
Hey, boo.
what's going on? Who done squoze that butt lately?
Nobody.
Squoze clothes.
I'm about to get shangry. I've been.
Throw it in clothes.
I need to find somebody.
What-
Find
what
somebody
city-
that
You've
feel
been
good with.
you've been
Yeah,
touring
that's
with
hard.
Cheryl.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
big.
What's
That's
what's
nice.
been the most fun city? Because I know you was down in New Orleans, but I ain't
New
want
Orleans
to
was
see you.
good because that was my first time there.
Really?
You like it?
Oh my God! What was the
yeah.
best
I love
food?
those shows down
Yeah.
there.
Huh?
What was the best food you had?
That was the only thing I didn't. Well, we ate at like Ruth Chris and stuff.
Okay,
I
y'all
didn't
was on
get
some
to-
more upper echelon
Yeah.
shit.
Nationwide.
Even though I had a good time, I didn't. Stupid. I didn't get to do like the partying in the street at 2 in the morning, and we don't have fabulous time. So,
What would you say your favorite city that you've ever performed in?
I haven't performed in that many cities, you guys. I mean, I did
No, I
perform
mean-
in Nigeria, so I will say that.
Oh, that was
that's
dope.
big.
That was
Shout out to
big.
all the
That was way
Nigerians.
dope.
That
What you
was
talking
way
about?
dope.
I mean, I haven't
I love
performed in that
Courtney
many
Black.
cities, but maybe Amsterdam, maybe Kuwait.
Nice. Sure,
I did a little short stint in Paris.
Guys,
All the French guys wanted to touch
Guys,
my black skin.
I did the weekend in Mars, but I don't want to speak
know
on
what?
that.
Hilarious. The weekend in March.
And after Mars, Romania. But I mean, who's counting cities?
But it was for some dignitaries. It was really nice.
My
it was
set on
dope.
Pluto
That's
just killed.
Killed.
I was fantastic.
So how was the Nigeria? How much time did you have to do?
Like 20, I think.
Okay.
25.
But that's
something like
dope.
that.
How was the guys over there? How was they looking like? What
Black.
was they looking
No,
like?
It's- I think
They
you're very
were
pretty.
Yeah, all of that.
I think you.
I took a girlfriend with me, and
Oh, what?
we
No,
were kind of
I'm-
naive because they like kidnap Americans and stuff, and
Yes.
so like we kind of didn't know that or whatever. So we were at the hotel, and this is the one main hotel convention center where everybody comes to. You'll meet like people from Denmark and Amsterdam, Dubai, like everybody comes to that place. So we meet this guy, this African, and he's like, "Oh, you guys want to go to the mall? Take my car." And he was staying there, but he lived there. Take my car, and my car will take you to the mall, and here's some money,
Right.
and just, show it up. And my people will show you. Now, they got to drop me off at home first, and then you guys can take the car. So we go to his house, which is like on the rich island part.
Taking full.
We go in the house and take a full tour of like this 4-level house, and it had like dark hallways. Like we could have really been killed and raped and everything, and we ain't think about it. I mean, we made it out safely, thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
That sounds kind of.
That sounds like y'all could have went to the
No.
back. Like, let me show you the
No,
back, and there'd be a
but-
van right there. And be
Yeah,
like,
that-
get in there, bitch.
it was crazy. And the
You're
people
lucky.
who brought it, very lucky.
That
The
sounds
people-
scary as shit,
Yeah.
right?
The people who brought me over.
Yeah.
You
walked
did.
in on
Get
the crazy.
pull the mic down to you.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh,
The people who were so
Oh, my
pissed at
God.
me, who brought me
Shang
over
is
there.
so shangry that you just
I
tore
did
the
not-
microphone
I
off
didn't
the
Damn.
stand.
I saw what I
You're so
tried.
You're gonna have
strong,
I
Shane.
know it wasn't.
person
He's
was
bigger
trying.
than me, and I'm younger than me.
Shang just
Shane, you're so strong.
No, listen. I'm saying that was you could have.
I could have really, yeah.
No, because
Nah,
a lot of
I
no,
could've went
that's not a fake story.
I think you're gonna have
They
to host
literally
it.
take women. They take women.
Yeah.
And then you don't hear from them.
You don't hear from them.
Yeah.
You
So
know-
the people who brought us over, the princess and some other,
Wait,
they were
don't
so
do that.
mad at me for doing that. They were so pissed. Like
Hold on.
that's technical
Hold on.
difficulty.
No, but
Okay.
but you see what I'm saying?
Because I could have just been killed and
But that-
disappeared.
it worked out.
It did work out. Thank you,
And
Jesus.
I mean, how is it working with Cheryl? I've known Cheryl for a long time.
Cheryl is great. I love working for her. First of all, she's just super generous. She's a vet. Like, it was just, I think it was kind of godsend that I fell upon her because, I've been bothering you to take me on the road. He's taken me to, done a lot of shows. So thank you, Shane.
And she
That's
did
what's up.
extremely well. We used to do this casino. I'm serious. Not,
Yeah, Laugh Factory.
San Manuel Casino.
Yeah.
And just come
And
out
you
there
had
have
me
a
at
And
great
then I
time.
hosted
Yeah,
it
no,
when
no.
you couldn't do the
I was
last
gone.
show. I
Yeah.
hosted it.
Yeah.
That was good. You
So
got
what
me.
I'm saying is, a lot of these comics.
He
that,
looks out.
no. Shang does look out, and that's probably
Can I
where
get a date to Shang?
No, they're bringing it back. They're bringing it
All
back.
right, man, you got the word?
Shang
they're bringing it
always
back.
looks
When?
out.
Definitely
Where'd you
won't call
hear?
you on
They
that.
gutting the whole room and enclosing it
It,
instead of
it turned
being-
into a salsa.
No, they're
spot.
gonna close it off where it's closed in. where
Oh, nice.
it won't be. You can't even hear.
So who? I need to
gonna
put
be a
my
room.
bid in. I need to
Yeah,
email
no,
over
I know
there.
who the person is.
Okay, give
Amy,
me
lady named
one.
Amy.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
She's booking it.
Okay, great.
Who's gonna be hosting it? You?
I don't
Hold on
I'm
for
not-
a second before y'all
won't be-
discuss
I
this
can't.
during the podcast.
Sorry, we talked
Just straight
I
getting
know.
booking and shit.
You know Teresa. You know out Teresa and Shang.
But-
Can we
Okay.
have you introduce yourself before Shang says another word?